Hey everybody, my name is Jim Farmer. I'm the festival director of Out on Film, Atlanta's LGBTQ Film Festival. This is our 35th year of bringing you programming from around the world. We have some exceptional programming this year. As always, we have a lot of great short films. And one of our best programs this year is International Affairs, which screened on September the 29th and is now streaming through October the 9th. It's an amazing programs. And one of the great films in this program is Too Rough by Sean Lionadh, which premiered at South by Southwest and has now been doing other festivals around the world. Sean, thank you so much for joining us today.
No, thank you for having me and the film.
Yeah, thank you. Well, just tell me a little bit about how this film began.
Well, I once had to sneak a boyfriend out of my house like a few years ago, and um, it's very funny to look back on now, but it was very stressful at the time, and we sort of turned on each other, and it was supposed to be sort of romantic time, but it turned into a kind of time of strategy and how am I going to get you out of this house through the window, through the stairs, through
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Um, and that tension I just thought would be great for a short film, to have like a simple limitation of a room
Yeah,
and have a couple in there and see how this limitation affects their kind of already fragile relationship and actually
yeah.
it ends up in the film kind of strengthening their relationship.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of our patrons, all of whom liked the film, they mentioned that they liked the film a lot, but it was um it was intense. I mean, it's kind of tense as the two guys are in the house, and it's sort of this film does a great job of sort of keeping you in the house with them, not really knowing how they're going to get out, how they're going to proceed, what kind of run-in they're going to have with the father character. So how did you, how did you sort of work on that claustrophobic, feel?
I think every department kind of understood, right down to the nuances in the performance. I mean,
Yeah,
I think Rory's body, he actually feels trapped in his own body at times, um, and the sound, really got behind that as well.
yeah,
The cinematography, but it's funny because like I obviously knew what was on the other side of the door, and I knew everything that was gonna happen. So I think I kind of underestimated the tension because um I didn't realize, oh, everyone watching this doesn't know what's going to happen, because you're so invested in your.
yeah.
So I think it was quite surprising, not surprising, but really uh, good to hear that we were successful on the mission to achieve tension. Yeah.
Great. Um, so you mentioned the film premiered at South by Southwest, correct? What was the experience like of seeing it there? Because it's as we all know, we've dealt with COVID over the last couple of years, so much viewing has been, you know, inside people's homes or on a computer. What was it like to go to a huge festival like that and see this film with a packed audience?
It was amazing. I was so nervous before it began, and you know what, Americans are very, I mean, disagree, if you think very tactile, and they like to touch. And I'd met two lovely new friends, and just as my film was about to begin, one was sat on one side, one was the other, and they both just took my hand each and squeezed my hand, and I was like, and but they just didn't let go, and the film began, and I was just like feeling like so. I was like, oh my god, I'm so nervous. I don't have my hands. So in a way, I felt trapped as the characters in the film, but the reaction was incredible, and it felt so nice to be Scottish there because I mean
Mhm.
it feels quite no one really gives a fuck in the UK, to be honest, if you're Scottish or not. Um but it felt like this little Scottish story that was full of pain and really Glaswegian, the city I'm from. It felt like that was suddenly became really special in this
Yeah,
other culture, which was really nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so where all have you shown it outside of South by Southwest, and obviously out on film? Where all of you? It sounds like you're really getting the film out and about right now.
Yeah, it's been phenomenal. I mean, we've screened, we've just got into our 50th festival,
Hmm.
and I think our 20th award, which is insane.
Yes.
So we screened all over France. France really, I think, have like an affinity with the film.
Yeah.
Um, BFI Flair in the UK, and Provincetown in America was where we won Best
Mhm.
Queer Short, which made us able to qualify for the Academy Awards, which we're just about to start our campaign. So I have no idea what to expect, but I
It's
imagine
amazing.
it'll be very intense.
Great. So how did you find your cast?
We worked with a casting director.
Hmm.
To be honest, Rory, who plays Nick, was just the only option for me right from the start.
Yeah.
But I really didn't want to go to London to find the other character because I was very doubtful of their ability to do a Scottish accent. I was like, I don't know if they can do it. But actually, I was proven wrong because Joshua, who's from London, um, does an amazing job.
Hmm.
Uh, and from there, the film just came to life. Yeah.
Great. So I just want to ask you this. I mean, I ask all of our filmmakers this, but can you talk about the importance of representation, of having queer directors telling stories like this, and why it's important to get these stories out into the world and get seen?
Of course, yeah. I mean, I've been thinking a lot recently about cinema, how cinema is almost the closest thing I get to intimacy.
Hmm.
Um, because I think, I mean, everyone has some kind of intimacy blocks, or,
Yeah.
everyone goes around with their guard up, yeah, and it can be hard to get truly close to people. But in cinema, there is no guard really between you and the hero of this film.
Hmm.
You're you're so intimate with this person, and for for that character to be gay, as my characters were,
Yeah.
for an audience that haven't really been intimately in that experience, it's almost one of the most effective ways to me of practicing like empathy
Yeah.
and building empathy. And I come out of the cinema like radicalized sometimes into like empathy, because suddenly I see how much people feel and how much people endure, and
Yeah.
you don't actually see how much people endure in reality. So much of it is hidden, but cinema is like the peephole, and
Okay.
you leave the cinema feeling. I leave feeling like radicalized almost into like empathy and love, and it's so warm. So I guess that's why I think representation is so important.
Great. Forgot what I was going to ask you. Oh God, who have been some of your directorial influences?
Um, I think I love Andrea Arnold and Lynn Ramsay, are from the UK. Lynn Ramsay's from Scotland. I
Hmm.
love they, to me, it feels like they're really have this nice conflict between like American styles of cinema and European styles, and we get this nice conflict of cultures within that. And I
Hmm.
guess UK is in a kind of culture war right now, especially between Europe and America. Like, who the hell are we? It's like an identity crisis for
Yeah.
me. Um, and then I love French New Wave, so all the French New Wave directors. 'Cause I didn't realize cinema could be so intimate until I started seeing that. I thought I was
Exactly.
raised on like Hollywood films, so I thought plot points had to be these massive structural transformations in your story, but actually, something massive can happen in the smallest of you know gestures or expressions, um and yeah, Hitchcock is always like the warm bath that I sink into. If I need like a warm old Hollywood feeling, I love Hitchcock.
That's good. Do you think that you'll eventually segue into features?
Yes, well, my first feature is in development. It's been in
Oh,
development for
nice.
a little while now. So it's a gay film about a couple. I can't say too much, but it's
Okay.
psychological horror about a relationship, a gay relationship.
Hmm.
And that's all I'm allowed to say, because I've been blabbing. Apparently, I've been blabbing the plot all here, there, and everywhere, and there's some sort of copyright issue that could come up. So I've been gagged,
Okay.
but yeah, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna make it happen.
That's great. That's great. The program is International Affairs. It screened it out on film September the 29th and is now streaming through October 9th. It has been very popular with our audiences, both in person and through virtual screening. Too Rough is part of that program. It's a phenomenal film. Thank you, Sean,
Well,
for
thank you.
making the film. Thank you for sharing the film with our audience. And thank you for taking the time to talk to us today. And remember, out there, you can also we're still doing audience awards. So vote for your films, vote for your favorites, and if you like Too Rough, vote for it as well. Sean, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so
No,
much for
thank
the
you so
film.
much.
Can't
I,
wait
I'm
to
looking.
work with you again.
Yeah, I'd love to, and I can't wait to see the other films in the program.
Oh
Thank
yeah,
you so
let us
much.
know. I mean, I'll talk to you about that after the program. Thanks
Yeah,
so
I'd love
much.
to. Thank
Take
you.
care.